ladies and gentlemen, Pokemon Trainer Aidan here, and welcome to my second Pokemon trading card game online video. Today we'll be using a deck I like to call Kingninja. As the name suggests, it revolves around Kingdra and Greninja. I first saw this deck being used by Puka over on the top cuts. It looked very fun and quite an interesting concept, so I thought I'd give it a go as well. The two main cards are Kingdra and Greninja. We'll have a look at Kingdra first. We'll be using mainly this Dragon Vortex attack. One colourless energy, does 20 damage times the number of water energy cards and electric energy cards in your discard pile. Then shuffle all those cards back into your deck. Obviously that will go very well with Greninja because of Greninja's ability, Water Shuriken. Once during your turn, you may discard a water energy card from your hand. If you do, put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So naturally, with that you'll be going through a lot of water energies with Greninja, but that's okay because Kingdra can put them straight back into your deck with his attack. Greninja's attack for 1 water energy, 50 damage, Miss Slash. This attack's damage isn't affected by weakness, resistance, or any other effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. 50 damage for 1 energy is very good. So it's a useful attack, obviously, because it isn't affected by weakness. If you are going up against Fire-type Pokemon, it won't do 100, it will just set 50. But also, going up against Grass types, it won't get reduced down to 30, it will still do the 50. Though you won't be using that attack very often, but occasionally you might have to. Kingdra's other attack, for 1 water energy, Tri-Bullet. This attack does 30 damage to 3 of your opponent's Pokemon. Very useful early on if you haven't yet managed to get many water energies in your discard pile and haven't got many Greninjas set up, so you can't Water Shuriken very often. You can Tri-Bullet to start spreading damage, making it easier later on for Greninja to pick off your opponent's bench Pokemon with the Water Shuriken ability. The other Pokemon in this deck, we're looking at Voltorb and Electrode. The Electrode is there for the Magnetic Draw ability. Once during your turn, you may draw cards until you have 4 cards in your hand. Useful later on if you get ended down to 1 or 2 cards, you can draw up to 4. It could be helpful for hitting those energies to use Greninja's ability. Using this Voltorb, the 50 HP one from the XY set, sorry about that. This is because of the Destiny Burst ability. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon and is knocked out by damage from the opponent's attack, flip a coin. If heads, put 5 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. Very useful if you need a sacrifice because you haven't set up yet. You can throw that out there and you've got a chance to put 5 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, making a knockout easier later on. We run a 4-2-4 line of the Greninja and Kingdra, and 4 rare candies to help those out. Also run 1 Sacred Ash so that you can keep up a stream of attacking Pokemon. For example, if you get unlucky early on and you have to discard a few of your Pokemon, like some Froakies or Frogadiers or Horsea or Seadras in order to get out the Kingdras and Greninjas, then obviously you can get those back, so you can get some more out later on. Run 4 level balls, since out of the 22 Pokemon that are actually in this deck, only 8 of them have more than 90 HP, leaving you with 14 which can be searched for using the level ball. Also run the Professor's Letter to help you get some extra energies into your hand for utilising Greninja's ability. Run 1 Startling Megaphone, 1 Switch, and for the supporters we run 2 Chorus, 4 N, 3 Professor Sycamore, and 2 Skylers. And also run 12 energies. That's it for the deck. Let's get into some games. Right, we'll be against someone called Kakarot. who's using a Fairy Steel and something else deck. Here I think I will choose to go first. And that hand is absolutely appalling. Starting with a Froakie and then 3 rare candies, Startling Megaphone, 1 Water Energy and a Colress. Okay, I did draw the Horsey, I'll attach the energy there and that will be it. My Mewtwo there. Not my Mewtwo, my opponent started with a Mewtwo and got a DCE and then gone for the Pokemon Fan Club. So what will my opponent be getting here? Well, I'd assume a Fairy type, Xerneas and then Spritzy. A Hard Charm going into the Spritzy. My opponent X-Balls for 40, and I did manage to top deck a Greninja, which is very Kingdra, sorry. Some rare candy into that, and then I'm going to have to Colress here. It'll only get me 3 cards, but the rest of my hand is appalling anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Managed to get a Horsey and then a Level Ball. I'll go for the Froakie and the energy. I think I'll keep the energy in case of a Crushing Hammer or something like that. My opponent Level Balls for, I assume, here an Aromatisse, yes. And a Juniper. Discarded an N and Starting Megaphone. Don't actually run any tool cards, so Starting Megaphone will be useless against my deck anyway. And my opponent benches another Spritzy and uses a switch into Xerneas and then a Geomancy. An energy into the Mewtwo and the Aromatisse. Top deck the Sycamore, which is brilliant. I think here I will just discard the energy. And I'll attach that energy to the Horsey and end. I'm in no rush to start attacking at this stage. I mean, yes, it allows my opponent a chance to set up, but with that Mewtwo and the Aromatisse to move around the fairy energies, the last thing I really want to do is put up my Kingdra really early, because with the number of energies on my opponent's field, I will get knocked out by an X-Ball. You see my opponent bench another Mewtwo and a Xerneas EX, and then another Aromatisse. The Aromatisse will probably be the primary target for Greninja's Water Shuriken. Get rid of my opponent's ability to move around those fairy energies, and then my opponent won't be able to use max potions as effectively if he's running them. I don't want to mention another Horsey because having more Greninjas on the bench is more useful. So I think I'll then so here I will probably play the N, hope to hit something useful, which I didn't. A Level Ball for final Froakie. And then I will leave that as my turn. I mean, the number of energies my opponent's got out is very daunting. My opponent will be able to do a lot of damage and take out my Kingdras and Greninjas with just one attack with the X-Blast, and probably also with the X-Balls from Mewtwo as well. We see a Hard Charm going onto the Xerneas EX and then the Xerneas EX going active. We'll probably only go for the breakthrough here, because that'll be enough to take out Froakie, and then he'll do 20 damage to one of my bench Pokemon. Was it 30? 30. Here I will definitely put up the Kingdra. No, I will bench that. Attach an energy to the Horsey, and then N. Unfortunately, I'm very good at not drawing what I actually want. And I'll Professor's Letter for 2 energies. I'll Ultra Ball away those 2 energies for Greninja. Evolve. I now have 3 energies in my discard pile, which obviously do 60 damage, but only 40 because of the Hard Charm. And I will Water Shuriken one of the Aromatises. Try and start taking those out. Here I don't actually want the Dragon Vortex, I want to leave as many energies in my discard pile for later on. And in fact, I will actually start targeting down some Pokemon with the Dragon Vortex. Now here obviously I will be able to get a knockout on one of the Aromatises next turn, as long as I get an energy to Water Shuriken. Although I can't because of the Max Potion. Going up very fast. Very fast setup. Fairy Dex is not good for this deck. It takes a lot to get set up. Now here, I will probably still target down the Aromatisse. I need to get those out of play. I have no Greninja, which is not helpful. Here I will then Ultra Ball for a Kingdra, and where I can do my active Horsey, and then again go for a Tri-Bullet. Probably not going for the. No, I will still go for the Aromatisse with the Hard Charm, just because I need to get rid of those Aromatisse. If I can get rid of those, stop my opponent being able to move energies around. My opponent will then not be able to use Max Potions and not be able to retreat for damaged Pokemon, and then send up a fresh one and put all the energies onto it. Also, I can take the turn to do that because this Greninja won't be getting knocked out. At least not from the Xerneas anyway, because he can't use X-Blast. Although that benched Xerneas can use X-Blast. And we saw the Scoop Up Cyclone from my opponent. It's not a card you see very often. When you do see it in a situation like this, it's very annoying. My opponent actually ends, which is relatively useful, giving me more cards. Opponent plays another Catcher, which failed just like the first one. My opponent seemed to be getting the Mewtwo ready for an attack with a DC 2 Fairy Energies and a Muscle Band, but nope, he's gone for the Xerneas instead. Of course, now my opponent can just keep switching between the two Xerneas. They managed to top deck the Kingdra, which is useful, and here I will use the Startling Megaphone, get rid of my opponent's Muscle Band and 2 hard charms. And then I will Water Shuriken that Aromatisse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 energy in my discard pile now, which will do 160, so I just need one more, and I'll be able to actually knock out this Xerneas. So at that stage I might sacrifice being able to take out the 2 benched Aromatisse. In order instead to be able to take out this Xerneas. And then Dragon Vortex for 180 damage, taking down the Xerneas. And also therefore taking out 4 of my opponent's energies. And it sends up the Mewtwo, which 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 would need another DCE in order to be able to knock me out. That was just Fairy, and there's a Hypnotoxic Laser. And my opponent plays a Juniper. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 130 damage from the poison. I can retreat, but I don't really have anything else to retreat. There's the Muscle Bound, making the Hypnotoxic Laser kind of irrelevant there, but oh well. I do still have one Kingdra in my deck, I think, as long as it's not in my prizes. And 1 rare candy as well. I think here I'll promote the Greninja. Fortunately I didn't manage to draw any other water energies, which is a big shame. I think here I'll probably just... I really don't know what to do here. Because I can't take out the Mewtwo, and if I lose this Greninja I will not be happy. Since that Greninja will get taken out at some stage anyway, and I will lose a Greninja this turn, I will probably do that. I need to get my Sacred Ash this turn as well. So I think I'll go for the Sycamore, hope to hit it and fail, but I do have army of Greninjas now, and a load of Water Shurikening that I can do. If I attack the Mewtwo, my opponent will just retreat it. So again, I think I'll go for the benched Pokemon here. Take out one of the Aromatisses. Then I can Magnetic Draw for another energy and end my turn there. And next turn I will be able to get another 2 water energies into my discard pile, which will give me 3, 4, 5, 6, which will only do 120, which won't be enough to take out the Mewtwo. And since I'm probably going to lose the Greninja this turn, that will probably more than likely be game over. Looking back, I kind of wish I had actually started attacking earlier. I know I kept saying that I didn't want to because I wanted a chance to set up. But if I'd started using Tri-Bullet, I could have taken out the Aromateces possibly already earlier. Prevented my opponent from being able to move the energies around. Possibly have stood a bit of a better chance. Opponent retreats into the non-EX Xerneas. I'm going to use the Rainbow Spear. So there is no point in putting an EX in danger here. And you can just attack with a non-EX and still get the knockout. Obviously my opponent has lost therefore another energy. And energies I will have in the discard pile will now be 6, which will not be enough to take out the Xerneas unless I hit it with a Water Shuriken first, but I kind of really want to take out the benched Aromatisse. Because then I'll be more likely to survive anyway. Oh, level ball. I doubt I put anything to level ball 4. Since I have the majority of my Pokemon in the discard pile, including 3 of my Horsey. And my Sacred Ash is unfortunately prized. I will not attach that energy actually. And now the Dragon Vortex. Unfortunately not getting the knockout, but unless my opponent has another energy, the Xerneas can't attack, and neither the Mewtwo nor the Xerneas EX will actually be able to take me out since I got rid of the Aromatisse, and my opponent can no longer move around fairy energies. So I still think that was the best option, but obviously now I am back to no energies in my discard pile, and all my deck is just now water energies, which is quite useful because obviously I have the magnetic draw ability, so I can make sure I keep drawing the energies. But it's going to be too close, and in fairness I think my opponent with the Mewtwo with the Muscle Band will probably now manage to clean up. I'm going to try something. Water Shuriken, the benched Xerneas, hopefully get my Sacred Ash. Nope, another energy. Then I will Water Shuriken the Mewtwo, and then Mist Slash. Opponent's now into only 90 HP, so next turn, if I can get off 2 Water Shurikens and a Mist Slash, I will actually win. But if my opponent gets 1 more energy onto the Mewtwo, I will lose. And obviously if my opponent retreats, then I can't take the Mewtwo out, it'll take a few extra turns on top of that. And my opponent just about to deck himself out. Oh no. Ah, breakthrough. Very well done from my opponent at the end there to get the win. Decked himself out in order to get an energy so that he could get the win. It was a much closer game towards the end than it looked like it was ever going to be. But unfortunately still didn't manage to pull through for a win. So that's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will have some more videos out soon, hopefully, and I will see you then.